What's up? It's Ben from WODprep, and in this video, I am starting a brand new series called How to Add Accessory Programming to Get Better at CrossFit and to Look Better Naked. So in this three-part video series, I'm going to be covering what sort of things you can add into your normal training, like a cherry on top, to get better at the sport of fitness and also look better naked. So there's 6 core components that here at WODprep we think are essential for well-rounded athletes to add into their training. 4 of them are specific to getting better at the sport, and then 2 of them can help you get better at the sport, but they're also going to help you have a better beach body. For most of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it is almost, if not already, beach body season. So I had to include stuff about looking better naked because a lot of CrossFit gyms, a lot of boxes, they program workouts that get you fit, and naturally you'll tend to look better naked going that direction. However, we miss a lot of that bodybuilding stuff. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the 6 core components of accessory movements and accessory things that you can add to become a better athlete and look better naked. And I'm gonna be filling in this Venn diagram to help make a little sense of it. We've gotten so much positive feedback from the last few video series that I've done that I'm going to do another one. And I think it's going to be really beneficial for you. So no matter whether you follow your gym's programming or you follow WODprep programming or you follow some other person's programming, if you work out, there's probably some things that you might be missing in your normal training because most programming is written for the general masses. So you might watch this video and watch this series and figure out 1 or 2 or 3 things that you can add in to your normal training to get you the goals that you are after. This Venn diagram is specific to accessory work. So what accessory work can we add in to our normal programming to get better at CrossFit and look better naked? There are 3 core components. Many of you probably know the S at the top, skills. So fairly straightforward, and I'll talk about where these 6 components fall in a second. The next one is strength. And the third one, specific to accessory things that you can add into your training, this is where the aesthetics come in. So when it comes to your normal training, we're suggesting that you either add in extra skill work. These are for people who really need to work on their skills in the sport. Extra strength work, maybe that's someone who has their skills checked off, but they realize strength is what's holding them back. We did a whole series about how to develop raw strength a month or so ago, but I will be touching on strength. And then the thing that most of us really go to the gym for, and that's to look better naked. Unless you are trying to be a high-level athlete, really we go to the gym for optimal health, which I think the normal methodology of randomized workouts is a great way to have general physical preparedness, but we also want to look better naked. We want to have bigger muscles, maybe more defined muscles, have abs, all those sorts of things. And I think that can be achieved a little bit more quickly if you add in some extra aesthetic work. So with that, let's talk about these 6 categories. So these 6 categories, these are types, the 6 core types of accessory work that we can add into our normal programming. Number 1, the G stands for gymnastics. Now, if I was going to put gymnastics anywhere, where would it be? Would it be skills? Would it be strength? Or would it be aesthetics? Maybe all 3, but I would say it's probably more skill and some strength, because obviously to get good at gymnastics, when we do things like ring muscle-ups and pull-ups and toes to bar, it's obviously a skill. However, it does lean on the strength. So I'm going to write, let's do gymnastics right here. So gymnastics, it's an overlap of skills, strength, and maybe a little bit of aesthetics, because have you ever seen a really good Olympic gymnast that isn't absolutely shredded? Probably not. So that's why I'm going to overlap that a little bit. And then next up, we have strength. So this is barbell strength. This is basically getting strong at moving external loads. That's what we might call raw strength if you watch the previous video series. So strength is pretty much going to be strength. Maybe a little bit of aesthetics, but I'm going to just put it right here. Strength. And then we have W. W stands for weightlifting. So you might think, Ben, moving a barbell, that's strength, right? Wrong. Have you ever seen someone who can lift a lot of weight but can't snatch, clean, or jerk very much weight. I know I have. I used to be that person. And that's because weightlifting is very much a combination of strength and skills. There are skills to weightlifting. There's a skill to the snatch, skill to the clean, skill to the jerk. You're doing technical movements with heavy weight. So it's a perfect overlap of strength and skills. So I'm going to just do a WL for weightlifting, is an overlap of skills and strength. Next, the E stands for engine. I wish our sport didn't make us have an engine. I wish we could just have skills and strength and look good naked. I wish. However, we do have to have an engine. You do need to have endurance. That could be another way to use the E. Endurance, engine, whatever you want to call it. We need to have the ability to move and grind for long periods of time, whether that's really high power output with our engine or very medium power output for an extended period of time. Engine is very necessary. Now, curiously, I was trying to figure out where to fit engine into this, and I would say that engine can obviously help us with our aesthetics, right? If we're trying to get shredded, a lot of bodybuilders, yeah, they cut calories like crazy, but you'll see a lot of them just like walking, running, doing cardio in order to burn more calories. It's not necessarily the most effective way to get shredded, but it certainly can help a little bit if you add some extra cardio and engine work. However, not many people might know this, but I think engine also falls into the skill department. And why is that? Think about it for a second. When it comes to, let's say I hopped on the rower and I had to row 1,000 meters a few times in a workout. The skill that is required to actually have proper technique on the rower, yes, skill, technique, whatever, but also the skill of pacing. Pacing is a skill that not many people have. Too many people, if I told you to do a workout that had 1,000-meter rows in it, and it started with a 1,000-meter row, and then you did some other stuff, and then you had to come back to it, most people are going to start that 1,000-meter row way too fast, and then by the time they get to round 2 or 3, they're completely burned out because they didn't have the skill to properly pace. So that's why engine, I'm going to put right here, because it involves skills of pacing, and it can help you look better naked simply because you're burning more calories, hopefully shredding a little bit of fat. And then next up, these two are some of my favorites. We have B, and that's bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is hypertrophy training. So that's not necessarily doing a 3-rep max front squat, but it could be doing sets of 10 to 12 with a kettlebell for goblet squats to help pump up our quads. Bodybuilding is hypertrophy training. It's specifically designed to help our muscles get bigger, which can also help them get stronger. And it doesn't have the same level of impact as something like a 1-rep max front squat would. So bodybuilding specific stuff, and yes, I mean shoulder raises, bicep curls, Arnold presses.
Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump.
All of those things fall into bodybuilding, and while certainly they're going to help you look better with aesthetics, it's also going to help increase your strength. So I'm going to write BB here. With bigger muscles, you're going to look better, you're going to be more toned, you're going to be more defined, but you're also going to have some increased strength. And last but not least, we have C. What do you think C stands for? I'll give you a hint. This is something that is involved in every single movement we do in the entire sport. And that is core. Core or abs, getting a really strong abdominal area, whether it's twisting, whether it's hinging, or whether it's stabilizing, is extremely important. We need a strong core if we're going to jerk a lot of weight. We need a strong core if we're going to deadlift a lot or squat a lot, because we have to be able to support that weight. We need a strong core if we're doing toes to bar. And we need a strong, nice, ripply, big ab muscles if we want to look better naked. So core is going to be right in the center. Right in the core, if you will. So these are the 6 different accessory things that we suggest here at WODprep. One thing that you might find interestingly missing would be mobility. Where does mobility fit into all this? Ben, how are you doing this without mobility? We need mobility to get better at the sport of fitness. I should be lacrosse ball smashing or banded stuff. I would say no, based on the scientific data that I don't study, but that the physical therapists on my team study. The mobility should come naturally with exposure to your skills, to your weightlifting, to your strength. So when we purposely don't include mobility, that's because when you're doing hangs from a pull-up bar, when you're doing handstand walk drills, when you're doing strength accessory work and weightlifting accessory work, holding a kettlebell overhead, those are the types of mobility work that will help increase your range of motion and help you support weight. We don't do much stretching here. We don't do much static anything. We're always moving, we're always dynamic. So mobility is kind of included, maybe not in the bodybuilding part, but it's included in the skills and the strength work that you should be doing. Because in order to do jerks, I'm going to practice jerks with an empty barbell. I'm going to hang from a pull-up bar to open up my shoulders. Those sorts of things naturally come in the development of the skills and the strength. If you want to get better at squatting, you don't need to do a banded distraction of your ankle. You need to just practice squatting more. Hold a squat in front of the TV when you watch it. Practice squatting with an empty barbell, and naturally, you're going to increase your range of motion. That's how I did it, and I know that's how you can do it too. So with that, those are the 6 key accessory categories that we can add in to become a well-rounded CrossFitter that's good at the sport of fitness and can attack anything and to look better naked outside of the gym. So here's my question for you. Now that we've gone over the 6 different categories and the 3 different basically buckets that I like to put them in, what are 2 things that you need to work on? If you had to add in accessory training to get better, whether that's looking or performance-wise, in the comments below, let me know what are 2 categories that you want to add into your training. And maybe, we're not going to cover in this video, but we are going to cover in the next video, maybe share a drill or 2 that you're going to add in as a cherry on top to practice getting better at these things. I know for me, I'll answer in the comments or I'll answer without commenting because I'm making the video. For me, if I had to add in 2 specific accessory things into my programming, right now, I would probably do engine because that is the thing that I lack the most in this sport. I would add in engine, and then I'd probably add in bodybuilding because I miss it so much, and bodybuilding and looking good and having bigger muscles going into the summer season, that's not a bad thing.
It's like somebody blowing air into your muscle. It just blows up and it feels different. It feels fantastic.
So for me, I'd probably do engine and bodybuilding. How about you? Leave a comment below. What are the 2 things you want to add into your programming starting soon? And then in the next video, I am going to reveal a couple examples of each thing that you can do. I'm going to share some gymnastics skills, some drills that you can do. I'm going to share some strength, weightlifting, engine, bodybuilding, and core work to give you a taste, to give you an example of what you can do to add in and how to do it. How long should your accessory programming be? How many days a week should you do it? Which ones should I pair together and which one should I not pair together? All that and more coming in the next video. So leave that comment. Make sure you smash the subscribe button. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and I will see you in the next video of the series for part 2 of how to add accessories to get better at CrossFit and look better naked. I'll see you in the next video. Did you know that if you hit the subscribe button, you could win $10 billion? No, I'm just kidding. That's a complete lie. But I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Maybe even gave me a thumbs up because that helps WODprep get more views on this channel. Thank you so much. Smash the subscribe button, thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.